Kyle woke up. He is famous.
Must be nice.
Kyle is host of the most popular talk show in recent memory, Stay Up Late with Kyle. Stay Up Late with Kyle has grown in popularity quickly in the last year, and the public has noticed. Inside has called Kyle a most excellent dumpy white man.
Nice dumpy.
Top Tech noted that Kyle is inspiring youth to explore STEM fields. Most other talk shows are dedicated to discussing Kyle and his personal details. Most online videos are best-of clips taken from Kyle's latest broadcast.
Kyle really has it made, huh?
The eye of the world is upon Kyle. Tonight is Kyle's most important guest interview yet. Stay Up Late with Kyle will be featuring Rachel May. She is a kind and lovely philanthropist. She is dear to the hearts of many. This interview requires preparation. Kyle cracked his eyes open, knowing today is his last chance to prepare for the interview. Kyle has 30 hours left. He must choose his actions wisely.
All right, let's do it. Kyle's first decision of the morning was made wisely. Wither... What? Wither away or exit the bed. Kyle's the most famous person in the world. They can wait for him. He can wither away in bed.
Kyle decided to stay put and wither away. Kyle withered successfully and died.
He died! I thought he was just gonna stay in bed.
Kyle is now a ghost. This does not relieve him of his responsibilities.
It doesn't? Kyle exited his bed and took a quick glance around his bedroom. But he's dead. Open the closet. Kyle opened the closet. It was dark, and he could only really see his hanging shirts. Choose an outfit.
Kyle decided to take some time to choose the perfect outfit, knowing how important appearance is.
A suit of armor.
Kyle was unsure of what exactly caused him to decide to wear his armor, but it felt like the right thing to do. After much squeezing and sweating, Kyle managed to wrap the metal suit around his dumpy self.
Oh, why he's so dumpy. Scavenge?
Kyle quickly crouched down on the floor, realizing his immediate need for...
Gossip.
Kyle firmly pressed his ear into the carpet, hoping to hear some stray words from the neighbors below. I heard Rachel May is going on a trip out of the country soon. Oh, girlfriend, tell me more! Well, what I will tell you is that every night I don a mask that looks like a bug and fight misdoers. There was a stunned silence. Then a door opened, and someone exited the neighbor's apartment.
Okay, let's just go out into the hallway. Kyle walked into a small hallway that connected the rooms of his apartment together. The kitchen. Kyle walked to the center of the kitchen, open fridge.
Kyle opened the fridge, intending to find something to eat.
Eat the fridge.
Kyle pointed his neck directly upwards and hoisted the fridge on top of his face. Somehow, miraculously, he wrapped his mouth around the device. He started to swallow. In one slow, horrible movement, the fridge slid down Kyle's throat.
Okay.
After many gurgles, pops, and snaps, Kyle felt relatively sure the fridge would not come back out.
Return to hallway. Leave apartment. Only 6 hours left. Kyle walked out into the middle of the road and took a long, pondering look around him. Tech store. Kyle walked into the clean white tech store. He was greeted by Techno Jim, an elaborate cutout mascot playing soft music from a small microphone. Just take him, you're a ghost.
Quickly, before the attendant could acknowledge him, Kyle grabbed Techno Jim by the shoulders. Finding that Techno Jim's cardboard feet were bolted to the ground, Kyle started to heave upwards. After several tugs, Techno Jim broke free, leaving one foot and one leg behind. Kyle glanced at the attendant, who was staring, bewildered, and ran outside.
Kyle walked out into the middle of the road and took a long, pondering look. There's no time, though.
Kyle hurried to the set. Per normal, he ceased to be a ghost before he arrived.
What?
Sitting across from his host chair was a glamorous woman with an air of genuinity.
He was dead. He's alive now?
As Kyle approached her, Rachel looked up and smiled. "Good evening, Kyle," she said, looking him in the eyes. "I've been looking forward to being here."
Interview Techno Jim instead.
Kyle roughly shoved Rachel out of her seat and placed Techno Jim in her stead. "Hello, Techno Jim," said Kyle. "I'm going to interview you today." Kyle grasped Techno Jim's hand and tried to shake it, but instead tore it off the cardboard frame.
Okay.
Kyle's producer, sensing viral media, pulled the bewildered Rachel out of frame and motioned the crew to go live. Cameramen moved, lights flashed, and suddenly the studio was on air.
Okay.
"Hi, I'm Kyle," said Kyle, "and tonight I'm going to interview a very special guest." He pointed at Techno Jim using the dismembered arm. Techno Jim started to smoke from the heat of the lights.
What is he made of? The lights would set him on
"Would
fire.
you like to introduce yourself?" asked Kyle. Knowing Jim would probably not speak, Kyle took it upon himself to be his voice as well.
Of course.
"Hi, Kyle," he said, raising the pitch of his voice. "My name is Rachel May, and I'm a very special guest."
Okay.
Rachel's expression of confusion turned to shock. "Well, Rachel, you look way too thin and absolutely terrible, and you should feel ugly." Kyle gave Jim a meaningful
She's
stare.
not gonna like that.
"Wow, Kyle," he said. "I sure wish I could look like you." Techno Jim burst into flames. Instantaneously, the sprinkler system initiated. Curtains of water poured down from the rafters. Within seconds, the production equipment was doused in water. The set was soon aburst with electrical fires. Kyle's crew abandoned their posts as cameramen and sound mixers to try to put the fires out. As the crew scrambled around, the cameras continued to run. Kyle sat, motionless, staring forward. Eventually, the fires were all put out. Kyle's producer shut off the broadcast, leaving Kyle's vacant stare as the final frame.
Is this like a game made by Tim and Eric? Oh, I don't know. I don't even know what that is. So maybe
Kyle's ratings skyrocketed.
He would get ratings for the one day. I cannot disagree with that.
Techno Jim became a staple on the show, often ending up destroyed by the end of each episode.
Would he? Would this show still continue to run?
Although Rachel did not come back on the show, her cardboard portrayal did. Rachel was very popular.
Yay! Good ending. Okay, this time we won't die, so let's just exit the bed. Kyle exited his bed and took a quick glance around his bedroom. He sat at his desk. Kyle made his way over to his desk and sat down. Check his desk drawer. Kyle opened up the side drawer of his desk and grabbed one of the items stored there. Key?
Kyle grabbed the small key he kept in his desk.
Kyle made his way over to his desk and sat down. Write notes for interview.
Kyle wrote down his first question.
Is your mother a mother?
Kyle wrote down his second question.
Beef. I mean, it's Rachel Ray, right? She cooks. Beef, mashed or blended?
Kyle wrote down his third question.
I purposely ran over a puppy. That's a question.
Kyle wrote down his last question.
Are you guilty?
Kyle ripped his page of notes out of the notebook and got up from the desk.
What's in the drawer? I want the change.
Kyle scooped up the change scattered around the desk drawer.
Kyle made his way over to his desk and sat down. That's everything, right? Back to room. Let's open the closet. Kyle opened the closet. It was dark and he could only really see his hanging shirts. Choose an outfit.
Kyle decided to take some time to choose the perfect outfit, knowing how important appearance is.
What are skunk pasties? That like just little skunks that go over your nipples? Is that what that is? Well, we're wearing it.
Kyle chose the pasties made out of
Ew!
mashed skunk flesh.
They're made of skunk flesh.
Getting the slimy garments to stay proved difficult, so Kyle opted to stick them to his body with hot glue.
Ow! It's Kyle! I don't know about this, Kyle. This doesn't seem great. Let's, we need to get out of here. Let's go leave our apartment, and let's visit the neighbor. He's got some drugs or something.
Kyle approached his downstairs neighbor's door and knocked. A middle-aged woman named Gabby answered the door.
Hello, Gabby.
Good morning, neighbor, said Kyle cheerfully. Gabby looked at Kyle expectantly.
Ask Gabby about Gabby.
Gabby, asked Kyle, tell me about yourself. Gabby stiffened. Oh, you know, she said, putting on a fake smile. I just sit around here. Yes, I don't get around much, never go out at night. I just stay here, right here. Gabby glared at Kyle.
Oh, gotta go to the show.
Kyle hurried to the set. Sitting across from his host chair was a glamorous woman with an air of genuinity. As Kyle approached her, Rachel looked up and smiled. Good evening, Kyle, she said, looking him in the eyes. Kyle responded.
Scream and spin in circles. All right.
Kyle stretched his arms wide, tilted his neck upwards, and was interrupted by his producer telling him and Rachel that it was time to start the show.
No, I insist.
Kyle shoved his producer out of the way, spread his arms wide, and began to scream loudly. He began to rotate slowly, screaming throughout, lightly brushing his hands against the faces of Rachel and his producer. After several minutes, Kyle was finished. He slowly put his hands to his sides and smiled. I'm ready, said Kyle.
Eccentric, famous people.
Rachel blinked at Kyle, shrugged, and walked over to her seat.
Rachel's like, famous people.
A moment after seating, the studio lights brightened and the cameras clicked on. Good evening, everyone, said Kyle, looking at the camera. Welcome back to Stay Up Late with Kyle. Tonight, I have the pleasure of interviewing the lovely Rachel May, who needs no more introduction. Kyle motioned to Rachel, who smiled and waved at the camera. Hello, Kyle, she said. I'm glad to be here. In response, Kyle collapsed on the floor.
Why?
From a combination of stressful preparation and not eating anything, Kyle had passed out.
I didn't know.
Nobody in the studio quite knew what to do with him. They began to poke Kyle in the back to see if he moved.
You're just doing a morning fast. You wouldn't faint over that.
After a while, they ended the broadcast, shut off the lights, and went home. Kyle was left face first on the floor.
Really? I'm famous. No one called me like an ambulance or something? He just died? Okay. We have to eat. I have learned we have to eat, so we will eat. Alright, let's get something nice to wear.
Kyle decided to
back to our skunk
Kyle
pasties.
chose getting the...
We are going to get some food.
Kyle quickly crouched down on the floor, realizing his immediate need for...
bugs.
Kyle started to pick between the fuzz of his bedroom carpet, hoping to catch a stray beetle or two. Soon, he had a small handful of various insects, dead and alive.
Okay, well, you found food.
Kyle threw back his head and crammed the sticky, wriggling mass into his mouth. He felt refreshed.
Well, we got food. Bad food. I want those cue cards. Write notes for interview.
Kyle wrote down his first question.
Is your mother a mother?
Kyle wrote down his second.
Beef.
Kyle wrote down his third question.
I ran over a puppy.
Kyle wrote down...
Are you guilty?
Kyle...
Excellent. Back to room. Let's go out. Let's lock door. I know where the key is, but I don't think I have time to get it now. Let's just go leave the apartment. Let's go visit the neighbor and
Kyle
see what more
approached his
she has to
downstairs
say.
neighbor's door, and a middle-aged woman named Gabby answered the door. Good morning, neighbor, said Kyle Gabby stiffened. Oh, you know, she said.
Really
putting on a
takes
fake
his time.
smile.
I know he spends an hour just
sit around
talking
here.
for like About one sentence?
Yes, I don't get around much. Never go out at night. I just stay here, right here. Convinced by Gabby's statement, Kyle bid her goodbye and returned to the street.
That was it? That was what I learned? I didn't get anything! I want free samples before it's too late. Damn it!
Kyle hurried to the set. Sitting across from his host chair was a glamorous woman with an air of genuinity.
When you
As
got
Kyle approached her,
Gabby.
Rachel looked up and smiled. "Good evening, Kyle," she said, looking him in the eyes. "I've been looking forward to being here." Kyle responded.
Answer
"And
politely.
I as well, Rachel," answered Kyle, extending his hand in greeting. "You are a most welcome guest."
Shake hand.
After other mild exchanges of pleasantries, Kyle and Rachel were prompted to take their places for the broadcast. A moment after seating, the studio lights brightened and the cameras clicked on.
Okay, I have 3 things. I don't know if this is enough to make it through. We'll see.
"Good evening, everyone," said Kyle, looking at the camera. "Welcome back to Stay Up Late with Kyle." Kyle vomited all of the horrible things he had eaten earlier onto the floor.
Oh, come on!
Rachel looked at Kyle, concerned, gave a couple coughs, and decided to play it cool and keep the show running. Kyle stopped, then vomited again,
Kyle,
then continued with a
you're
shaky
ruining
voice.
it for us!
"Tonight, I have the pleasure of interviewing the lovely Rachel May, who needs no more introduction." Kyle motioned to Rachel, who smiled and waved at the camera. "Hello, Kyle," she said. "I'm glad to be here." "Well, I'm sure we'll have a lot to discuss. So we might as well dive right in,"
Kyle's
said
fine.
Kyle. "I'm very ready," said Rachel with a winning smile. Kyle produced the notes he had taken earlier.
Beef, mashed or blended?
"A burning question from the fans," said Kyle. "Beef, do you prefer it mashed or blended?" Rachel answered promptly, "Mashed," and no more was said on that matter.
Oh, okay.
Kyle asked another question.
Is your mother a mother?
"So," said Kyle, "my mother is a mother. My mother's mother is her mother and my mother's mother. And many mothers have mother's mother's mother. Is your mother a mother?" Rachel went to answer and stopped. "I believe," she said eventually, "that I should answer yes." Kyle asked another question.
Are you guilty?
Rachel. "Are you guilty?" Kyle threw his questions on the floor, stood up, and pointed at her. Rachel's eye twitched slightly. "Guilty of what, dear Kyle?" She smiled disingenuously. "Guilty," spat Kyle, "of your crimes." Rachel did not answer. Her eyelids both started twitching uncontrollably. Kyle asked another question.
I purposely ran over a puppy.
"Hey, I ran over a puppy on purpose," said Kyle. Everyone in the studio froze. Kyle spread his hands out wide. "It's a joke!"
Kyle is Titus. Kyle is really Titus.
He started laughing from the bottom of his stomach. Nobody laughed with Kyle. Several minutes later, he stopped laughing and moved on. After reading his final question, Kyle looked up from his paper. "Well, Rachel," he said, "I think that's all I was planning on asking you." "If that's the case, Kyle, may I ask you something in return?" asked Rachel, smiling one more time.
The show was canceled.
"What on earth are you wearing?
Alright.
Are they made of skunks?"
I forgot I was wearing the skunk pasties. Just 2 dead skunks' faces like this on nips. Hot.
Before Kyle could answer, the camera shut down. The broadcast was over. Kyle returned home knowing the interview had gone well.
Did it, Kyle?
But as he lay in bed and drifted to sleep, he felt that perhaps something was still missing.
The rusty locker in here? I need a key. Where's the key?
Kyle quickly crouched down on the floor. Kyle began to comb through the damp piles of filth and mold on his floor in search of helpful items. After finding and eating a few bits of crumbs and old cheese, Kyle found something much more important. Indeed, it was the corpse
was
of
a
Harry,
corpse!
a friend that had gone missing years ago while at Kyle's house. Kyle was glad to see him again, but was unsure of whether to interrupt such an important day with Harry
We
business.
should probably deal with Harry. There's a dead body in my closet.
Kyle hoisted Harry onto his shoulder and took him outside. Kyle began dragging Harry's body down the street, drawing many, many stares.
Yeah, probably this isn't the way how to do it.
Kyle knew exactly where he needed to take Harry's corpse, on a lovely playdate, just the two of them. Kyle and Harry started at the arcade. Kyle used Harry's arms to operate the joysticks and push buttons.
We had very different ideas of what taking care of Harry meant when I clicked that.
After 5 or 6 different games, the two friends had enough tickets for a single candy bar.
Oh, hell yeah.
They took their prize to the local park for eating. Kyle tried to feed some of the chocolate bar to Harry, but Harry seemed to not have an appetite.
I didn't... I meant to bury him or something, or call the ambulance, I don't know.
After eating, Kyle noticed a nearby playground. He dragged Harry over. Kyle tried to figure out a way to swing Harry onto the swing set, but, lacking the ability to grip, Harry kept falling out. Instead, Kyle started to lug Harry to the top of the slide and shove him down time and time again.
I'm just a sicko. Why am I famous? Why is he famous?
Finally, Kyle took Harry to the movies to see as many popular films as their pocket change allowed.
I didn't bring pocket change.
Kyle quickly found that he had no pocket change, so he searched through Harry's pockets until he found his wallet.
Damn it! Wait.
Kyle bought 2 tickets to A Love Romance. After getting inside, Kyle left Harry to go find a restroom. By the time Kyle had finished using the restroom, he had forgotten that he brought Harry along.
I just left the dead guy there.
Kyle watched A Love Romance by himself. Harry's corpse sat on a bench in the atrium.
Kyle's sick.
While Kyle was in the movie, a beautiful thing happened. Harry's corpse, imbued with the power of friendship and love, was reanimated.
Of course it was.
Harry's old, rotten flesh gained color and life. His fingernails regrew. His missing eye came back.
All right.
By the time the movie was over, Harry was able to greet Kyle with a large, friendly hug as his old self. Kyle was confused, but delighted to have his long-lost friend meet him on his way out of the theater.
Kyle's a witch!
The two made plans to get drinks together and parted ways for the day. Kyle returned home, forgetting about the interview with Rachel.
I feel like this is a way better story than interviewing whatever Rachel wanted about her mashed meat. I helped a friend. Pantry.
Kyle wanted to
Key.
The pantry door lock creaked as if it hadn't moved for years, but eventually opened. Instead of an assortment of canned goods and grains, Kyle's pantry stored his massive amount of bottled lard.
Ew. Bottoms up.
Kyle voraciously grabbed the closest bottle, snapped the neck against the wall, and sucked out all of the fat within a minute.
Well,
Kyle wildly sucked down another bottle. He felt very sick.
how about another?
Kyle's vomit and the lard were mixing in a way to make it hard to tell which was which.
Finish off the pantry.
As Kyle finished the last bottle of lard, he felt a wave of accomplishment come over
I
him.
think you need more lard.
Kyle hurried to the set. Sitting across from his host chair was a glamorous woman with an air of genuinity. As Kyle approached her, Rachel looked up and smiled. Rachel's smile quickly turned to shock as she realized Kyle had not put on clothes that day.
So that's what happens when we don't go to the closet and put on something. I didn't know Kyle's just butt naked. I didn't know Kyle just sleeps in the nude. How was I supposed to know that?
Kyle waved and smiled broadly. Rachel uncomfortably averted her eyes.
Should have worn the skunk pasties.
Kyle started making his rounds around the room, greeting each crew member, none of whom looked at him directly. As it became apparent that Kyle had no intention of leaving, Rachel made some excuses and exited the set. One by one, the crew followed suit.
Where are you going, guys?
Kyle was left all alone.
Oh. So not wearing clothes does have a... Okay. Kyle prepared by being a nudist.
Kyle walked over to the strange door in the hallway, but found quickly that the door was locked from the inside. Kyle decided it would be best to try to force the door open with use of his face.
Oh, maybe we
After
will
smashing
save the
his features
bugs.
into solid wood for several minutes, Kyle gained severe short-term
Yeah, I'm
amnesia.
down. Let's try that. Rachel.
Hello. You.
Oh,
Kyle's ears
because he,
began to ring
'cause
from
he
his
smashed
concussion.
his face.
Rachel looked at Kyle, slightly confused, but continued smiling. Before she noticed the glazed look in Kyle's eyes, the producer approached. Time to get started, he said, putting a hand on Kyle's shoulder. Let's get stationed. Kyle sat in the nearest chair, which was Rachel's. After a moment, Rachel hesitantly sat in the host's chair. A moment after seating, the studio lights brightened and the cameras clicked on. Good morning, everyone, said Kyle. My name is... Kyle made a desperate effort to remember his name, or really anything. Kyle looked at Rachel. Do you know who I am? He asked. Rachel looked back, confused. Who are you? Well, if you're not Kyle, I don't know who you are, Rachel smiled sweetly. Kyle made up his mind that he was probably Kyle. Well, he said, I'm Kyle. A long silence followed. Eventually, Rachel spoke again. And I'm Rachel. Hi, everyone. Hi, Rachel, said Kyle. So why are we here? Rachel was visibly worried. Ha ha, funny, she said. Weren't you planning on asking me any questions?
I didn't write any down.
I mean, I don't have any ideas, said Kyle. Kyle kept staring at Rachel. Someone coughed. Kyle looked around and noticed the crew. Who on earth are all of you? He asked. Nobody answered. Kyle got out of his chair and walked off frame, leaving Rachel alone with millions of viewers.
Damn it, Kyle has millions of viewers? What an asshole.
Rachel smiled at the camera nervously. Well, she said, let me tell you some knock-knock jokes. Eventually, the producer ended the broadcast early due to technical issues. Kyle woke up in his bed the next day, remembering nothing about what had happened.
This went good. This was a good ending. Kyle forgot everything. That went great. That was good. Flashlight.
Kyle shined it. After several, there was a pile of strange items, including a small metal box with a large red button stamped.
Take the box.
Kyle stashed the device for later use.
Okay, so I've got a time travel box. What can I do with this now?
Kyle decided to take some time. After much squeezing and sweating, Kyle
Okay. Alright. I'm out of time.
Kyle, sitting across from...
Yeah, hi, Rachel.
A moment after seating,
Time
the studio
travel
lights
with
brightened
Rachel?
and the cameras clicked. Good evening, everyone, said Kyle. Tonight, Rachel and I will time travel together. In one motion, Kyle grabbed Rachel's arm and pressed the red button on the time machine with his elbow. Kyle and Rachel were sent back to a time before human existence on Earth.
I'm wearing an armor suit, so I'm fine.
They were standing next to a large lake. There was a forest behind them, full of singing birds. Lizards were everywhere. Kyle, dear, said Rachel, stern but not angry, you can't just do things like that. Rachel began digging in the dirt, looking for small, smooth stones. I'm sorry, Rachel, said Kyle. I got a bit ahead of myself. Kyle began helping to look for stones. Well, it's okay, Kyle. I forgive you. Rachel took Kyle's stones and started to build a small stack on the ground. Kyle silently began sifting through the sand near the lake to find pure mud. Well, since we're here together, said Rachel, using nearby sticks to build a pyramid around the rocks. How are you? Oh, I'm fine, said Kyle, sticking pieces of shale together with the mud. I've been preparing for your interview all day. Rachel began to bundle nearby foliage into small power cells. Do you love being famous? She asked.
Yes.
Kyle used the bones from the dead fish ashore to start crafting some energy
What?
capacitors.
Wait a second, Kyle.
That's an interesting question, Rachel, he answered. There's ups and downs. How about yourself? I think I'd love to be unknown, with a loving family, said Rachel. Being so recognizable gets very lonely.
Oh yeah, poor you, Rachel. It must suck being famous and rich. Oh, poor Rachel.
Rachel started grabbing live birds as they flew by to make a nuclear reactor.
Wow, okay.
I understand that incredibly well, said Kyle, extracting pure hydrogen from the lake using a reed siphon.
What? You guys are
There
very
was a warm, understanding silence between them. After a few minutes, Kyle broke the silence. Can you pass me the arc welder when you're done? I need to weld these bioreactive plates together. Soon, the pair had constructed a janky but workable return time machine. As they climbed in, Rachel and Kyle looked at each other. Both knew they had bonded. With the flick of a switch, the whir of an engine made out of beaver pelts, and some pops, the duo returned home. Later that evening, back at his apartment, Kyle thought about the time he had spent with Rachel. He was glad they had gotten the chance to take a trip together.
You took a trip.